Bill Owens, the longtime executive producer of CBS News, 60 Minutes, is stepping down over concerns about editorial independence, according to an internal memo seen by Reuters on April 22. Owens's departure follows a months-long legal battle with President Donald Trump, who sued CBS in October 2024 over a 60 Minutes interview with his Democratic rival for the White House, former Vice President Kamala Harris. Earlier this month, the case entered mediation. Over the past months, it has also become clear that I would not be allowed to run the show as I have always run it. To make independent decisions based on what was right for 60 Minutes, right for the audience, Owens wrote in a note to the 60 Minutes staff. After defending the show, from every angle, over time with everything I could, he has elected to step aside. Last week, Trump again attacked 60 Minutes, saying it aired too inaccurate stories about him, and he has pressed the Federal Communications Commission to take action. The FCC is already reviewing whether the Harris interview violated news distortion rules. Though the agency is prohibited from censorship or infringing the First Amendment rights of media, broadcasters cannot intentionally distort the news. Need a break? Play the USA Today Daily Crossword Puzzle. FCC Chair Brendan Carr said in February the Commission was in the early stages of its review of the bid by CBS, parent company, Paramount Global, which is seeking agency approval for an $8.4 billion merger with Skydance Media. The federal agency has authority over the transaction because it needs to approve the transfer of the broadcast television licenses held by CBS. The deal was extended for 90 days, as the companies await regulatory approval. Carr said in November 2024 that the 60 Minutes complaint was likely to arise during the FCC review of the transaction. Bill Owens receives praise from colleagues after 60 Minutes departure. CBS News President and CEO Wendy McMahon lauded Owens's unwavering integrity, curiosity, and a deep commitment to the truth in an email to the staff. She said the news executive, who spent 37 years at CBS News, including 24 years at its premier news program, would remain with 60 Minutes in the weeks ahead. Working with Bill has been one of the great privileges of my career, McMahon wrote. Standing behind what he stood for was an easy decision for me, and I never took for granted that he did the same for me. Catherine Jacobson, U.S. Program Coordinator for the Committee to Protect Journalists, said it was alarming to see a media executive resign because he did not feel he had editorial independence. It really speaks to something that we should all be alarmed about, and that is the erosion of media freedom and journalists' ability to work without fear of retaliation, Jacobson said. FCC investigates CBS News. News network submits records of Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes spot. Trump takes aim at CBS after 60 Minutes interview with Harris. CBS, long-running primetime news show, became a lightning rod for Trump, who repeatedly assailed the network on the campaign trail over the episode, threatening to revoke CBS broadcasting license if elected. The lawsuit, filed in the Northern District of Texas, alleges the network misled viewers by airing two different responses from Harris to a question about the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. CBS said in March that the transcript and unedited interview footage demonstrate that CBS engaged in commonplace editorial practices, specifically, by deciding what material from a lengthy sit-down interview would air in a time-limited television format. TV news departures. All the anchors exiting their roles, including Lester Holt. The FCC's Carr rejected the idea, telling Reuters, "An investigation is ongoing. We're not close in my view to the position of dismissing that complaint at this point," he said. The Center for Individual Freedom, Americans for Tax Reform, Taxpayers Protection Alliance and other groups last week called on Carr to reject the complaint, saying an adverse ruling against CBS would constitute regulatory overreach and advance precedent that can be weaponized by future FCCs.